Look where the dash is and my knees.
Oh, that's perfect.
Duramax thing going on right now. A little insurance package for us. Oh boy.
What's up, everybody? Last time on Cars and Cameras, we got our Triumph 955 powered dragster to be a rolling chassis, and man, this thing is already really taking form. In today's episode, we're going to complete the steering. We have some cool adjustable steering parts we're going to be adding to this thing. We're going to be installing the gearing and also reinforcing our live axle. This thing makes over 100 horsepower, so we need to make sure that axle isn't going to bend. And finally, we're going to install the seat and seating position, so we should be able to be sitting in this thing with a steering wheel under it, making race car noises by the end of the episode. Let's get right into it.
Alright, so I notched these two pieces of square tubing for our lower seat mount. I should be able to just weld these in or tack them, see how we like it, and then move on to the rear cradle that I've got right here. This is going to work, so we'll probably bolt it 2 times up here and 2 times in the lower. Alright, cover. Yep. There you go.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah, forgot it was just magnetized. Put a little bit too much faith on that one. Alright, so now I'll just, I guess tack it. Maybe at the top or something. That way maybe I can pivot it or just cut it off if it's not okay. Because it's kind of an eyeball. Oh gosh.
Ready to just test the seating position before we really weld everything in. We got our new dash tube
that's not bad.
Up there as well. You think that tilt is okay?
That's good. That's a good, I mean, look at that. Look where the dash is and my knees.
Oh, that's perfect.
Dude,
this thing is going to have awesome...
Yeah. I can pull my legs to my chest and not hit a bar.
Perfect.
I know this angle iron's moving, of course,
yeah,
but
that's just temporary. What do you think of the tilt? You want me to hold this tube here and you pretend you got a steering wheel?
Yeah, let's see. Not bad at all.
Okay.
That's my back straight. Yep, good clearance for the helmet back here. Yeah, that's not bad. I like it.
Sweet. Well, let's go ahead and weld it all in, dude. So we have our seat installed and our steering column and steering wheel tacked in. It's really just a tube. Ike walked in and decided that it looked like a harpoon if we got in a crash. So he's looking into a collapsible steering column of sorts that we can install on this for safety. But I'm going to go ahead and install the tie rods. We're going to be using these 3/8 generic tie rods with ends from GoPowersports.com. These are some of my favorite parts that they sell because you can use them for tie rods like they're intended, or you can use them for different types of linkage like the Cozy Coupe on the clutch. So here's how they work. You have a regular thread and a reverse thread end. So you just get them installed and then you can adjust your toe by just undoing these lockdown nuts, and you don't have to unbolt it from the wheel or anything. It's really, really clever in that way. So if you want to measure to see how long of a tie rod you need, go ahead and grab your tape measure and go from the bolt hole in the spindle to the bolt hole in your steering tab. This is also one from Go Power Sports we're going to put on our steering column here. It's about 17 inches or so from the center of the hole to the center of the hole. We have this 18-inch tie rod, and it has just about over an inch of adjustment in and out. So this is what's going to work for us. If you don't know what size to get one that's a little bit longer than what you think you're going to need, because it has a ton of adjustment and extra threads. Like, check out how much is in there.
On both ends.
On both ends, exactly. So you can trim some of that off and then still be able to bottom out your tie rod end if you want to. So we're going to link these in the description. Of course, anytime you place an order with GoPowersports.com, let them know that the guys here from Cars and Cameras sent you. These are some of our favorite parts from Go Power Sports. They work great on your go-kart or mini bike brake linkage, kind of anything like that. Really clean, easily adjustable.
Looking pretty good.
Looking so cool.
Yeah.
It's got the Duramax thing going on right now.
That gets on Ike's nerves
doesn't
every
it go
time.
this way, though?
Yeah, it goes this way.
And we are minutes away from having a true steer. And
What word was that?
steer.
Like a cow?
Steer.
I-E-Y. I don't, never mind. That didn't make sense. Ike's having a seat.
I got the alignment off a little bit, but it'll be all right.
It'll be fine. That's pretty cool. I mean, it really doesn't need to steer that much anyway. It just needs to turn around and go back to the starting line.
Yeah,
That is cool.
that is pretty sweet.
I like it.
We have a 3-point harness hooked up right now. We're going to get the other two, I imagine, when the cage is done.
Yeah.
Dude, it's sweet. Getting closer and closer.
I mean, that's an eighth turn. I think we need to shorten.
Oh, well, what if we notch these things right here?
We can do that. I think that's what we did on the rail.
Okay.
But if you notice, look how much the steering wheel turns.
Oh gosh, not very much.
Not much. So I think we need to take that tab and we need to put some holes in further up.
raise this up a little bit.
Yeah, because
Okay.
it'll slow down. It'll increase the throw of the steering wheel.
Well, I see what you're saying because like
It's just going to be too twitchy.
Oh yeah, too twitchy because
Too
I
twitchy.
mean your adjustments are going to be big adjustments.
Wait, you're saying it's going to get more twitchy the closer to the center you get, right?
Mm-mm. Nope.
Less input equals more output. Right? It's the opposite?
So the further in the tie rods go to the center,
Yeah.
we'll be able to get like, we could get a half a turn in almost. Not quite that much. I'm exaggerating a bit. We could get at least a quarter
Oh, it's
turn.
going to slow it down.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
It's just too quick right now.
Yeah, I had it backwards.
Yep.
Hey, but it's there.
It's there. It's looking good.
And we're still working on something for the collapsible.
Yeah, I just actually ordered one.
Yeah,
So
really?
for
good
the
to go.
collapsible
Cool
steering,
deal.
steering shaft.
All right. So I think we did pretty good on this. Just a little fine tuning. That's heavy.
Wheelie.
All right, so now that our front end is pretty much tacked in and ready for when our collapsible steering column comes in, Charles here is working on the rear. So we're doing 4 live axle hangers on the 1 1/4 inch hollow racing axle from Go Power Sports.
With our driven sprocket right here in the middle between these two for maximum support, because this engine's basically going to want to pull this axle or bring the two sprockets together. So we're going to kind of give it a triangle, kind of point the pipes down and up, so it's kind of like that. So it's kind of holding itself from going that way. I don't know how else to explain. Ike had the idea and I thought it was great. Kind of, was it like a little insurance package for us, so when we want to rev it and dump it.
So Ike is finishing up a couple of pieces for our rear axle hangers, and we'll show you what all we have on that when he's finished. But Charles and I are going to set the toe, and that would be the amount that the wheels, if you're looking at it from a bird's eye view, the tips are either pointing towards each other or away from each other. We probably want 0 toe, which means that the wheels are perfectly parallel with each other in this drag racing scenario.
They're opposite of each other. This one you clamp down and push down to go in, and this one you squeeze and pull up to go in.
Cool. And just like we mentioned, these nice tie rods are adjustable, so all you need to do is break these nuts here loose, and then you can twist this rod like Charles was doing to change the alignment. And then we're putting something straight up against each tire, and then we're measuring the distance there. And in order for 0 toe, we need the values to be equal. Yep. If we have a smaller measurement here, that means we are towed in. And if we have a smaller measurement here, that means that we are towed out. So pretty straightforward, not bad. highly recommend you check it on your go-kart because you're going to have it drive funny or have some weird tire wear.
Or it'd be really, really twitchy on the steering.
Yeah, if you have excessive
towed
toe
out?
one way or the other.
So,
All right.
yeah.
41 3/4. Check the rear. 41 3/4. So that's good to go. That means we have 0 toe. It's exactly what we want. And if you're doing alignment, anytime you change your tie rod length, make sure you go ahead and press whatever tubes you're using for measurement up against the tire again, because they could be kind of cocked from before your measurement. So that's how you do that. Should be good to go with alignment. So here at the rear of the vehicle, we have 4 axle hangers going in.
Yeah, the sprocket to the axle is going to be right here. We wanted to add 2 extra hangers because the force that is going to be created by the engine pulling on the axle can actually bend the axle. So you put these hangers here and it helps stiffen everything up. At least that's what we're hoping.
120 horsepower, bud. It's a lot.
So yeah, somewhere in the middle, and then kind of slice it like a hatchet or whatever, or a piece of wood for a hatchet head or whatever, and just slip it in the middle and weld it up.
We have these nice Go Power Sports bearings and hangers, and we drilled some extra holes in them, and we have this piece that we cut out on our Langmuir Systems Crossfire Pro so we can adjust height for the dirt or for the tarmac.
Yep.
Looks pretty good, bud.
Not too bad. Minimal gappage. Oh boy. Good thing I hadn't squared this bar up yet. That's my next step. But basically, this is what we're after, times 4. Basically, another one up here and 2 on the bottom. Cover. Yeah. All right. Ooh. That's enough. It's really loud right near your ear. All right. Yep.
So we now officially have a roller and a vehicle that steers. So we're still waiting on our collapsible steering rack. We just ordered one of our super hubs that we have on the Rail 1.0. We ordered a sprocket, an O-ring chain, so all that should be coming in.
Yep.
What are you up to next, bud?
Buddy, I've got wiring diagram. So the wiring was there's so much wiring on this cart that I feel like I can probably eliminate about half of it. So we had to go online and order a wiring harness diagram.
Haynes manual, yeah.
Yeah. I can go online and I can look for wiring diagram for a Honda, a Kawasaki, all that stuff. Not for a Triumph. So you gotta pay money to get a wiring diagram. It's crazy.
Must be owned by Caterpillar. They don't let anything out either.
Okay. So anyhow, I'm going to be going through the wiring diagram on this and either eliminating some or starting to route it and make it look pretty.
I figured I'd update you guys on the lathe situation too. So remember, we got this thing working, and right when we got it under a good heavy load, it
died.
It died. Started making a horrible sound. So we figured it was our digital phase shifter up there. But the electrician came today, and he was able to determine that he thinks it's actually the motor.
Yeah, I mean, look at all the stuff that was up on top of it from the last time it was rebuilt. I guess the order or whatever was, I guess the spec sheet, like what they put in there and stuff, what parts. I can't find a date, but that's their company.
England.
Yeah, England.
Yeah.
Yeah, GNC Machines. Yeah, Midlands, England. Yeah, that's not an American address. Jeez, I don't even know how to read that. And then, I don't know what this is, but this might have helped us hooking it up. But whatever. It's like wax paper, so they meant it to get oily, and this was down in the bottom. So
got to get this sent off to get rebuilt. Hopefully, anyway. We'll get it reinstalled, and we're going to...
Yeah.
They're not supposed to spin that easy, right?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't really know anything about these. But we took all the load off of it. I took both belts, and basically it was free spool. Made sure that there was nothing in it or on it, and we turned the power back on, bumped it, and whatever it's set up as right now, and it sounded horrible. So something, it's delivering power to it, but it's just not making not doing spinny things.
Yep. So we're gonna clean out this area and fix fluid leak.
Getting the shop back now.
Yep.
So that's about all we have time for in this episode. Ike is going to get to wiring. Charles is going to get to cleaning out the lathe. Thank you all for watching. We didn't get the gearing done because it's not here, but we have steering, and we have the axle hung, and our 2 braces, and we have the seat mounted, and we have 3 out of our 5 seatbelt links. So it's coming along. It's looking better and better every day. Next, we're going to be handling the roll cage area and hopefully eliminating some wiring. And it won't be long before we test this thing. So thank you all for watching. Leave a thumbs up if you're enjoying this series, and we will catch you next time.
Basically what I was asking was about how he had this, because it is like that right now and not centered. So
Yeah.
but he's got his the bend in mind.
I mean, what do you think? Should
I
go
like
straight
it.
up?
No, you're
tilt would be
you're
pretty good.
yeah, you're raking it.
I'm just
back.
worried about the fish mouth and might have to
We'll figure it out.
gap ties the.
Well, we're not doing chromoly yet, so we're good.